did it! He did it! Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career. Pete Alonso keeps this fairy tale season going.
Well, thanks, AJ. 5 1/3 innings. That's it. That's all Kodai Senga has pitched this year because of injuries. But on Wednesday, he called up Mets president David Stearns and said, "I'm ready." The Mets said, "Here is the ball for game number 1." Now, no one knows what to expect, but pitching coach Jeremy Hefner told me he has a checklist of what he wants to see in the first inning. Velocity, at least 96 on the fastball. Throwing strikes, which can be a problem, and swings and misses on the forkball. One thing they are not expecting, length. He threw only 25 pitches to minor league hitters on Monday. Normal progression would have him going not much more beyond 40 pitches today. Adam, it's the rare postseason game in which a team's best starting pitcher is also a surprise starting pitcher.
Today's telecast is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And by Google Cloud, the official AI partner of Major League Baseball. Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI. The block party outside Garage Fishtown on Friday with the new Phillies daycare mural, the Rally for Red October bus, and boy, they brought the energy into this building. Zach Wheeler set the tone, going 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts, and now the Phillies lineup, which was number 5 in the major leagues in scoring, top 7 in the majors in homers, and top 5 in all the other categories, has a lot of playoff experience, and it's Kyle Schwarber, who you always have to be careful with. To lead things off, it'll be Kodai Senga, making his first start since late July, just his second appearance of the 2024 season. And he gets Schwarber with a half swing and miss. He was an all-star as a 30-year-old rookie last year from Japan.
He's an ace. He is the ace the Mets have missed all season. He threw one game the entire year. He had some arm problems and he had a calf problem in that one game. And if you saw the first pitch he threw, was a split. Ghost Fork is his name, his nickname of that pitch. That's the key for him. Can he throw enough strikes with the fastball to make that Ghost Fork ball the pitch that Kyle Schwarber and the rest of these Phillies have to swing at? And we don't know how long he's going to go.
Schwarber launches in, gone, 1-0. 21st playoff home run. Turner takes ball 1. Kyle Schwarber hit 15 leadoff home runs this season, a major league record, passing Alfonso Soriano's 13 from 2003.
And people question, why is Kyle Schwarber leading off? He doesn't get on base, he doesn't steal bases, he walks and he hits homers.
Just wall scrapers, though.
It's a great feeling as a team when you have a guy, one swing of the bat can make it 1-0. And Kyle Schwarber has done that better than anybody in Major League Baseball.
You could tell Kodai to start that at bat he knew that Schwarber was going to come out and wanted to set the tone right away. But after that, Schwarber caught up to that good high fastball, and he was ready for it.
Good pitch, a sweeper on the outer edge, 2-2.
Here's something to look for too, and we're 2 batters into this game in this series. Senga gave up a home run to Schwarber. Trey Turner has not seen a fastball. Schwarber scared him already away from that fastball.
And now he gets that fork ball, the Ghost Fork, for the strikeout. It's one of the nastiest swing and miss pitches in all the Major League Baseball. He gets the K. Schwarber got the fastball and drilled it. And he has hit some titanic shots in that general vicinity over the last 3 seasons. Top 4 all-time in Major League history with 21 homers. Here's Harper. 2-0.
Well, you can speak on this. Pitching in front of a crowd like this on the road, you throw your best heater and a guy hits it 579 feet and gets the crowd going. And then, like I said, Turner, all off speed, and it goes for it. First pitch, 2-0 here to Harper. Now 3-0. That'll scare you away from certain pitches, won't it?
Well, it's a very intimidating atmosphere. You know, this Philly crowd is fired up, and they are ready for this postseason, man. But you know, when you come into these hostile environments, you got to almost find a way to kind of use the crowd, but kind of quiet it at the same time. It can be very tricky in these really loud atmospheres.
Four-pitch walk to Harper, who was number 2 behind Schwarber on this roster in walks. He's aboard with 1 out for Castellanos.
What's something to think about too is when you get into these loud environments, now that the pitch comm is a thing, this can be a real home field advantage for a crowd to get right in here so that he can't understand. You see him put his glove up to his ear. He can't hear the signs hardly at all.
Castellanos takes a strike. He was Philadelphia's best hitter in the month of September. He and Pete Alonso were 2 of the 4 players to play in all 162 games. In fact, all 4 who did it were in the National League East. Matt Olson and Marcell Ozuna of the Braves joined that list. Castellanos golfs one down the right field line, slicing away from Marte, and that'll drop down when Marte was in the area for it, but battling the sunlight could not get there, and it's 0-2.
And now Senga has him exactly where he wants him. If he can get ahead with whatever pitch he wants to use to get ahead, Kodai Senga in 2023 was unbelievable with 2 strikes. Opponents hit 111 against him. Why? Because you're going to see a ghost fork that opponents swing and miss at 60% of the time.
With an 0-2. Goes with a fastball, and Castellanos fights it off.
Interesting, you see how far he set up off the plate right there. He's a whole foot off the plate in the other batter's box. He wants that. He wanted to send that to an effect pitch to see how far out Castellanos would chase it.
And that time he gets him with a breaking ball tailing away. With 2 strikeouts in the frame for Senga, 1 on the fork ball and 1 on that breaking ball tailing.
Tight slider right there. Castellanos will chase. But that is a good slider from Senga.
Set up by those good 4 seams away.
Here's Alec Bohm.
Inside.
Bohm closed the season just 2 for his last 27, but he was a first-time All-Star this year who put together an excellent season. 44 doubles to lead the club and top 2 in the National League. Off the fist, popped up. It'll be Iglesias over, and Senga will limit the damage. But it's Kyle Schwarber with a leadoff home run. Nobody has hit more in a single season in a regular campaign. He's hit 5 of them in his playoff career. That's a major league record. It's 1-0 Phillies. Pete Alonso will lead it off for the Mets in the second. You can play the Major League Baseball Playoffs Fox Super 6 Challenge today. Free to play. Go download the Fox Sports app and make your picks for a chance to win your share of $5,000 in cash prizes. Don't miss any of the playoff action this weekend on Fox and FS1. Dodgers and Padres on FS1 later on tonight for Game 1. Wheeler against Alonso. Ball one to start the inning at 98. Wheeler hitting 98, 99 for the first time in 2 years. So the adrenaline, a real factor out of the gate, as it often is in the postseason. Alonso waves and misses at another fastball, and it's 1-1.
The bigger story is he threw a ball. 11 for 11 in the first inning. And then he threw a ball, first pitch to Pete Alonso. Then he just ran back through the second one right by him anyways.
And I know he's been in this postseason before. He knows this. But you have to watch that adrenaline. Come out throwing a little bit harder in these postseasons early. You can blow it through a little bit easier.
Inside.
Alonso takes in. It's 2 balls and a strike to the 4-time All-Star. A free agent to be. There was some thought that maybe that at bat against Milwaukee could be the last in the Met uniform. He had a big swing to change that narrative quickly. But he is in the division series for the very first time in his major league career. One of the most prolific home run hitters in New York Met history, looking at a 2-2. Three and two.
You go back fastball right here, because if I'm Pete Alonso, I've seen 5 heaters in a row. He's blown 2 by me. I got to just cheat like crazy to get the head out here, because I'm assuming Wheeler's going to throw one at the top of the zone, 95 plus.
Payoff pitch was a fastball. Nine swings and misses, 6 of them in the first inning.
He threw 11 pitches and 6 swing and misses. Some pitchers don't get 6 swing and misses the entire game. This guy had 6 in the first inning. Now he's got 9 through 1 1/3. And you see, that's what he does. He works that 4-seam at the very top. He'll run the 2-seamer in on these righties, and then he'll follow it up with those good breaking balls underneath.
Here's the veteran Jose Iglesias, who's been one of the catalysts for the turnaround this season, and hit red hot 337 after coming up from the minor leagues. And closed the season on a 22-game hit streak. Had hits in each of the first 2 games of the wild card series. So 24 straight until an 0 for 4 in Game 3. But imagine this guy has played more than 1,000 regular season games. Just his second career appearance in the postseason. And he lifts one into center field. Johan Rojas is there for out number 2. 5 up and 5 down against Zach Wheeler.
One thing that really sticks out to me about this fastball, these Mets are no stranger to his fastball. They've seen it. They saw it last week. But they still can't get there. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it. When your eyes, they just can't adjust to that so quick, can they, AJ? It's just tough.
Not a 98, 99 at the top of the zone. That's the thing. And then, like earlier I said, I don't think the shadows seem like a big deal. They're certainly affecting the Mets early. They look like they're affecting them more than the Phillies.
Jesse
See,
Winker.
I like that. You're going to get a heater, go get it.
Go after the first one you see.
You got 3 swings, let it eat.
Winker tried it there and fouled it away. Acquired from Washington at the trade deadline. Was heavily involved in irritating the Brewers and making some key plays throughout the series. Had a big hit in Game 1, a 2-run triple, and then a stolen base in the 9th inning of Game 3, and ended up scoring a major insurance run for New York to pad their lead and help secure a wild card series win. A 1-1 to Winker is a little bit high. This is a Mets team that had not won a postseason series since taking the National League pennant in 2015. Lost to the Royals in the World Series that year, but had a playoff drought. Made the wild card series 2 years ago against San Diego. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jesse Winker, and a chance to finish off another 1-2-3 inning for Wheeler. Did not swing, according to the third base umpire, James Hoy. He is the crew chief. And the count runs full on Winker.
You can see he checks his swing here, but watch the height of this pitch. Your eyes, AJ, don't they just tell you it looks so tasty right there at that level that you just can't get your hands to it?
Well, contrary to 40,000 Philly fans here, they thought he swung, but he did not go.
Second full count for Wheeler so far. And Winker works back for a walk to extend the inning with 2 down. The first Mets base runner is aboard. Take a look at Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. Some numbers on Zach Wheeler and some impressive ones at that. This is the 16th time, to your point, Wayno, that he is taking on his former team, the New York Mets, a team that grew him as a major leaguer. Well, many of these guys are familiar with him. Here's Starling Marte, and he'll take ball 1. The 35-year-old playing his 16th career playoff game.
There's that sinker, and one of the keys to getting Starling Marte out is you have to have him feel you inside. He's got to move his feet just like that. Then you can get him back down and away. He's already set that up.
Playing with the timing, and Marte goes the other way and fouls it off. That's something that Marte does exceptionally well. Go the other way. All the hits he had in the wild card series, all 3 of them went the other way, including the one in the 9th inning of Game 3 to add that insurance run.
Yeah, but that ball almost hit him in the hands. That ball's 95 up and in. He went the other way in self-defense. He didn't go the other way because he was trying to.
He does have the hole on the right side. That time a breaking ball sweeps way out of the zone. 2-1.
Better at bats, though, the second inning for the Mets against Wheeler.
They're laying off some pitches, too. 10 balls thrown in this inning after, as you mentioned, A.J. Wheeler went 11 for 11 in strikes in the first. Here's a 2-1. A chopper back up the middle. Bryson Stott gloves and throws out Marte. A man left on base in the second. Phillies with a 1-0 lead come to bat.
one seam.
Wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Kodai Senga into his second inning of work. Bryson Stott climbs in. And there is a strike on the 19th Kodai Senga pitch. We will keep an eye on that pitch count. Stott, a very speedy second baseman who has some pop, waits for an 0-1. We did see some stirring in the Mets bullpen in the first inning when Senga got into some trouble. David Peterson, who had not made a relief appearance until Game 3 of the wild card series, could be the first man behind Senga. A 1-1. And Stott pops it up. Senga gets out of the way for Vientos. And there's out number 1.
Well, quick out is just what the doctor ordered for the Mets and Kodai Senga. We were told 30, 35, maybe at the most pitches for him. 18 in the first didn't help. But there's not a lot of stirring for a guy that this could be his last inning up.
Carlos Mendoza is navigating this. The first-year manager has had to be very creative with his pitcher selection the last 2 weeks during this excursion to get to the division series. JT Realmuto fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
Well, when it comes to Kodai, these hitters know that they have to lay off the ghost fork, which is the all-time coolest name for a pitch,
sure.
maybe. If they can lay off the ghost, then they know he's got to come in the zone with that four-seam fastball. And it's a good fastball. It just doesn't get on you quite like a Wheeler's fastball. No one's does. But if you start swinging at that forkball, you are in big trouble because no one hits it.
Ripped down the left field line. That's a foul ball, and it's 1-2 on Realmuto. "99 games played this season for Realmuto. Dealt with a knee issue for a good chunk of the season. Injuries throughout the season for the Philadelphia Phillies, but they navigated it fairly well. And you can see the communication back to the New York Met bullpen as Senga is about to throw his 25th pitch. A 1-2 to Realmuto. And it just missed at the top of the zone. So Reed Garrett is picking up a ball. I would imagine that Carlos Mendoza's preference would be to bring in one of those backup guys at the start of an inning, maybe use a regular reliever if Senga has to leave in the middle of this frame.
It all depends as the ghost fork gets Realmuto. It all depends on how this inning goes. If he gets out of this inning right here, we might see one of the starters, Peterson or McGill, jump up. And there's the ghost fork that nobody hits. Like you said, Wayno, just watch it just drop off the table. It's ridiculous. No spin, just by. But we're there in the lineup too. So they have Marsh here. Rojas is righty. And then they go Schwarber, Turner, Harper. So do they want to get a lefty up Peterson because they're going to be in a pocket, a little small pocket of lefties?
4 left-handers in a typically lefty-heavy lineup for this Philadelphia Phillies group, including Marsh, who had 16 home runs, a career high this year.
One thing to say about Kodai getting out there, whether he goes 30 or he goes 50 or whatever, it doesn't matter so much as it does how the importance of him getting out there, getting back into the swing of things, the feel of things in this playoff environment, and he'll be able to go a lot longer next time.
There's a strike, and it's 1-2. Got him with a cutter.
It's just a brave move, though. Because if it doesn't work out, which I mean, he's going to give you 2 innings, great. But you got McGill, you got Peterson. It's just a fascinating move by the Mets. Why not?
Inside, and Senga with a kick. He wanted that one. It evens the count at 2-2 on Marsh.
Well, it's a big lift, right? Just for the psyche of your team to know that they got their #1 pitcher back out there, even if he just for a short while, it's something.
Deuces wild, the pitch, and Marsh lifts it in the air, left center. Nimmo's underneath it. And a 31 pitch 2-inning run for Senga. 1-0 Phillies. AJ. Well, this was what Tom Verducci gave us at the start of the day. The Kodai Senga checklist. Throws 31 pitches. We thought he'd be somewhere around 30 to 35. And those are the numbers on the checklist that Jeremy Hefner wanted to see. All things considered, pretty good. It's 1-0 Phillies. The Schwarber leadoff home run, the difference so far. Tyrone Taylor takes a strike. And now, indeed, it is David Peterson, the left-hander who appeared in relief in the wild card series, loosening up. The guy who started a bunch of games this year. A ball and a strike on Tyrone Taylor. 2 for 12 with a double in the wild card series in Milwaukee. Wheeler deals, and a big fastball, a sinker at 97, and it's 1-2. That's the fourth Wheeler strikeout, and he busts out the splitter for it. One away here in the third. Tom Verducci, why don't you put a wrap on Kodai Senga's performance?
Yeah, I think Mets have to be happy with what he gave them today. You saw the velocity there, the average, but more importantly, he topped out at 97. So that arm strength is there. And now I think the Mets, if we get to a Game 5, can feel a lot better about Senga. Now again, progression-wise, probably no more than 60 pitches his next time around. But this was definitely something for them to be encouraged about.
There's Francisco Alvarez, the young catcher, taking a strike.
And he got to feel the playoff atmosphere.
Yes.
Game 5, if it gets there, guess where it is? Right here back in the bank. So he knows what it's like. He knows what the feeling is when you walk onto the mound, the hostile Philly crowd.
Back up the middle. Wheeler, a Gold Glover last year, is there. He retires Alvarez, 2 down in the third. back to the top of the order.
We've seen a guy that's got the #1 pitch, really the number one pitch in all of baseball, is the best fastball in all of baseball. He's used that a lot, but the last couple outs he's used with a split and a cutter. He's got all the pitches and he can throw them to all the different quadrants. Very, very talented.
There's Lindor taking up and in.
Lindor's the only guy that squared a ball up off of him. He had a rocket that Bryce Harper caught at first. Other than that, it has been bad swing after bad swing for the Mets.
There's one on a curve, 1-1. Wheeler likes that curveball to left-handers. He likes the cutter to lefties. He busts out the split once in a while as well. Off the fist, Lindor muscles it back to Wheeler in a 1-2-3 inning. Wheeler responsible for all 3 outs. Peterson ready to go.
But most of them you can't say.
Everybody take a breath, we're good. So Kodai Senga goes 2 innings, allows the Schwarber leadoff home run, and gives way to David Peterson, who made 21 starts during the regular season and then made his first relief appearance to get his first professional save. Yohan Rojas bangs one off the Philadelphia dugout for strike 1. Peterson got the save to finish off the wild card series in Milwaukee, and now he's in for some long relief against this lefty heavy lineup, and he's quickly ahead of the righty Rojas, 0-2. The .243 average for Rojas is the lowest among the qualified active players on the Philadelphia roster. Major league average is .243. So at worst, the 9th guy in your lineup is an average MLB hitter. That's not the case for most lineups around the league. Rojas bounces it using his speed. Here comes Lindor. Tough play. Good play. 1 down. Back to the top with Schwarber coming up as we take a look at our Wendy's pitcher profile on the left-hander David Peterson. 6'6", 240 pounds with great extension, and he had a great season this year in 20-plus starts.
Yeah, he's in the top 95th percentile in extension. He's getting way down the mound. He's got that good sinker, good four seam to work off of it. He's going to throw some change-ups and sliders in there also. He's a real pitcher.
Well, now he faces Schwarber, who's had a tough go against the left-hander. 1 for 16 with 10 strikeouts against Peterson. But in the first inning, he banged his 5th career playoff leadoff homer. He lifts this one out towards shallow center. Taylor's got a long way to go, and it's going to dump down for a base hit. Kyle Schwarber is 2 for 2 to start the postseason. Taylor kind of froze initially when this came off the bat.
Well, he took a step back. You see Schwarber, he doesn't know what to do. He takes that half step back, and by then it's too late. Shadows, sunlight into shadows, no sunglasses on Taylor. Nice start to the postseason for Kyle Schwarber.
Trey Turner takes a strike. Rob Thompson pointed out that because of the start times of most of the games of this series, it's going to be about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in that area. So there's going to be shadows, and he wants, as often as he possibly can, his best defensive team out there. For the Mets, their best defensive unit probably has Harrison Bader in there, as we saw late in the games against Milwaukee. Taylor's better in right field, more comfortable in right, and Bader's a little bit better in center. So keep that in mind as these shadows not only affect the pitcher and the batter, but the outfielders as well. In particular, Taylor and Marte in center and right now. A 1-1 to Turner is a breaking ball waved on and missed.
Senga gave him 2 innings, and then you might ask, why Peterson after that? What's the lefties? Schwarber, then Harper, and then you run in, because Peterson's got to give him length, right? So then you're going to get Stott, Marsh again. So that's why Carlos Mendoza decided, all right, not Reed Garrett, not McGill. Let's go Peterson here, because he knew the lineup was turning over into these lefties. Plus Trey Turner, 3 for 16 off Peterson. And Peterson ended the season unbelievably good for these Mets. So Mendoza, ride the hot hand when you got it.
A 2-2 to Turner. On the ground to short, Lindor. Iglesias, the relay, and Turner beats it out. Dealt with a hamstring injury most of the summer, did Turner, but he's got speed, and he uses it to keep the inning alive for Bryce Harper.
Nobody gets down the line quite like Turner does, man. He gets going.
But just too slow developing.
Yeah.
The flip from Lindor to Iglesias, too slow. You have no chance against Trey Turner. Now will he run?
Turner this season went 19 for 23, pretty good rate stealing bases. Last year he went 30 for 30 during the regular season, and he's 10 for 11 in his playoff career. Doesn't often run with Bryce Harper at the plate because he doesn't want to take anything away from Harper at the plate. Especially for a guy that gets so many extra base hits. Oftentimes Turner can go first to third and sometimes score from first. But we'll see if they're aggressive against a Mets defense that struggled a lot the first half of the year and got a little better and a little better as the season went on. There's a strike to Harper, and it's 2-1.
Yes, but if I'm Bryce Harper, I want him on second. That way a single scores him. Yeah, it's great you give up the hole, but with the way the defense is aligned, there's not even really a hole anymore on the right side. So yeah, Trey, if you can get second, and that way a single drives you in.
Quick toss over to first, and Turner's back in diving.
This is where it becomes a chess match, though, because with the lefty on the mound, he knows Trey Turner has great speed. But if Trey sees that snap throw over there and Peterson does a good job holding the ball right here, it's going to be very tough to run on it. Uh-oh.
Are they going to take a look at this?
New York is challenging the safe call at first base.
Going to try to see if Alonso got the tag on Turner on a close play. Replay review presented by Zoom, and
he's
a
out.
Very tight play at first. The mitt of Turner may not have been on the bag when Alonso's glove made contact with the body of Turner. That will be the question.
That's why you want the throws in the field of play on pickoffs, because it leads the fielder, the first baseman, right into the leg. Pete Alonso didn't have to tag him. The ball took him right into his leg. And because it was farther up, yes, Trey Turner dove in, but it looks like he's out.
And does that matter more because Alonso's a right-handed first baseman as well?
Yes.
But I think this Citizens Bank Park crowd is telling us if he's safe or out.
This is an incredibly close and incredibly important play in the early goings of Game 1.
And remember, the laces don't count. The laces on Alonso's glove do not count. It has to be the meat of the glove. That angle, you know, certain angles, but that angle right there to me doesn't show it.
After review, the call in the field stands. The runner is safe. New York has one challenge left.
Was not indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field, which was safe. That's the traditional language that we've gotten used to with replay review. Very close play. Nearly got him at first.
That angle, he's out. I don't know what we're looking at. What are we, please somebody tell me what we're looking at. He's out.
So the call goes Philadelphia's way. Turner at first, 2 balls and a strike on Harper, who takes ball 3.
Big call, especially with Bryce Harper at the plate.
Turner stays, Harper takes, and it's ball 4. There are 2 aboard for Castellanos. So not only did that call affect the Harper at bat, but it extends the inning even further as he is able to draw the walk. And now Peterson trying to get out of this inning with no damage, as a damage doer is coming up in Castellanos.
Trey Turner may not steal a lot for a guy who has speed like he does, but you know what else he doesn't do? He does not get thrown out at the plate. When he's out there at second base, I have never seen Trey Turner get thrown out of the plate when he's on second. He is such a good reader of the ball. He gets great secondary jumps. Great base runner.
So a base hit likely scores Turner. Castellanos lifts one to right field. Marte over along the edge of the track is there. And the inning is over as well. Peterson works out of it, leaves a couple of Phillies stranded. We go to the middle innings.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. I'm with Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. Kodai Senga gave you 31 pitches. Give me your assessment for what you saw.
I thought he was actually pretty good. Other than that fastball that Schwarber took him deep, he was really good. Up to 97. The split was really good. It had depth to it. The slider was good, threw strikes. So I was pretty pleased with that outing.
Carlos, your guys have seen Zach Wheeler before, but he's throwing harder than he has in a couple of years. Second time around, what do you guys need to do to adjust?
Yeah, we need to attack him. Obviously, he's got that extra zip today. You know, like you said, 98 at the top of the zone. He's going to continue the attack. We got to get him in the zone, and we have to attack him.
Carlos, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Mark Vientos waits for a 1-0 from Wheeler, and he muscles it into left field for a base hit, the first of the day for the New York Mets. He's aboard for Brandon Nimmo. Talk to me about Zach Wheeler, though.
This is what makes hitting in Major League Baseball so tough. Watch these pitches come out of his hand. Which one do you hit? And as a hitter, you have to decide about right where that mark is. Right there. That's when how quick you have to make a decision. Wait, no, do you hit 98, 96, or 90-mile-an-hour pitch that starts at the top of the zone, ends at the bottom?
There's Nimmo.
And the depth of the two between the sweeper and the four-seam fastball, it's the entire length of the strike zone square. It's just not easy. It's too big a gap to cover both. You almost have to sit hard and hope you get one in the zone to hit.
And he hasn't really delved deeper into the secondary pitches just yet. A 1-0 to Nimmo on the outside edge.
And his effectiveness, obviously he has an electric fastball. But as soon as these hitters know that they have to start cheating to that fastball, like he said, attack Wheeler, that's when he starts throwing that breaking ball under the zone, and he's even more swing and miss.
He got Nimmo on a sweeper in the first. And he gets him with a splitter to make it 1-2. That's 15 swings and misses from Mets hitters so far against Wheeler. A 1-2.
The way Wheeler's going so far, now we're only into the fourth inning, so he's got 3+. It just seems like the Mets are going to have to pop one. Meaning someone's going to have to run into a home run. Whether it's Pete Alonso, whether it's Brandon Nimmo, whether it's Francisco Lindor. Because they're not just going to string hits together. Someone's going to have to run into one and give them a multi-run burst on one swing.
They certainly have the pop to do so. 207 home runs from the New York Mets this year. Top 6 in all of Major League Baseball, and Alonso is on deck. Runner at first, nobody out in the fourth, and a payoff pitch is inside. And back-to-back base runners to begin the fourth inning for the New York Mets. And today's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. Some of the names and faces of players that have been on both sides of the 1,081 regular season contest. This is the first ever playoff meeting between these two clubs. Here's Alonso with 2 aboard. Of course, Zach Wheeler, one of those players as well. Started his career with the New York Mets, originally a Giants prospect who got traded 13 years ago to New York for Carlos Beltran. Alonso takes inside, and now Wheeler with 4 straight out of the zone, 5 straight, beg your pardon, out of the zone.
These middle innings for a starting pitcher, when you use all that adrenaline early on, these middle innings are the telltale if he's going to be able to go deep into this game. Can he come back around and get control of his mannerisms?
That's what you were talking about earlier. Alonso fouls one back in our direction, and it's 2-1.
That was the pitch. Right there, Pete Alonso, 2-0. Heater pretty much center cut, and he was late. I mean, this 2-0, 2 guys on, that was it. That's the one Pete wanted. It was a little bit in, just beat him enough.
There's a fastball, 2-2.
And he comes right back with the 4-seam after it. Didn't scare him off of that at all, AJ.
Good luck.
It's dark out there.
Alonso takes called strike 3.
Wheeler, you know he's going to work that four-seamer up. But that's also where you can exploit Pete Alonso up in the zone with the fastball with 2 strikes. It's a good spot to get him, and he executed it perfectly.
A shake of the head, understandable. Here's Iglesias. Ball 1 inside. So this is all 4 hitters getting ahead of Wheeler in this 4th inning. 2 on and 1 out for Iglesias, who lined out back in the 2nd. Mets were very good in game 1 against Milwaukee with runners in scoring position, 5 for 7 in their opportunities. They went 4 for 18 in a couple of very tight games in games 2 and 3 against Milwaukee.
But if you're the Mets, you got to think this is your shot. A bloop single by Vientos, a walk to Nimmo, a bad call right there on a pitch, not a strike, to make it 2-1. See that changes the whole at bat. Iglesias is 3-0. If that ball's not a strike.
Umpire was anticipating 4-seam right there, but he ran the 2-seamer in, and it had that late movement.
Andy Fletcher the call, and now Iglesias has to go chasing, and it's 2-2.
But it changes the whole at bat. That's when hitters get mad, or pitchers, if it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Two-two delivery. Iglesias hits it off the glove of Wheeler. Stott to Turner to Harper. Inning over. Just your typical 1-4-6-3 inning-ending double play. T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. to the home half of the fourth, and Alec Boehm leading it off against David Peterson. And a first pitch number towards second. And Iglesias, that's big for Peterson. 1 pitch, 1 out as he's into his second inning of relief behind Kodai Senga.
And that's what you're going to get from Peterson. He loves to keep the ball on the ground. That good sinker, he's going to throw a lot of sinkers, he's going to get a lot of grounders.
That'll bring up Bryson Stott. Strike one.
How long can Peterson go? I mean, he's been a starter. The question is if he keeps pitching well, 4, 5, 6 innings, get deeper and deeper every out, and every inning he gives them a better chance to come back and win this game.
And think about the last couple of weeks, in particular this week, for a taxed New York Mets bullpen that has had very little time in between games to gather themselves. They had the quote-unquote off day yesterday where they got into Philadelphia at 4 a.m. on Friday morning. A lot of pitches thrown by that group. Down the left field line, foul from Stott. Nothing at 2 still.
Well, they also went on the magical journey all over the country, right?
Yep.
I mean, they Atlanta to Milwaukee, back to Atlanta, back to Milwaukee, now to Philly. I mean, it's kind of crazy the route they took to get here.
And Alonso had time in Milwaukee to go get a pumpkin with his wife Haley. A 1-2. And Stott chops it. Mets putting in those miles. They left New York on September the 23rd expecting a 3-game series against Atlanta, a crucial one, but the 2 games on the back end got rained out due to Hurricane Helene. Milwaukee, then back to Atlanta for the Monday doubleheader to try to clinch a spot, then the wild card series, now into the division series in Philadelphia. A lot of miles, and their 10th game in 12 days. They'll play again tomorrow. Stott will take inside, and it's 2-2. Mets have not been in their own beds for the last 2 weeks. That'll change tomorrow night after game 2 when they take the, again, 116-mile trek back up to Queens. Stott on a close pitch. Takes ball 3, and the count runs full.
I sure hope those Mets travel suitcases they dish out are big. 2 weeks gone, that's a long time. This is a much better pitch.
I need that pitch.
Yes, then Jose Iglesias got called 2-0.
Went right back to the same spot. And Stott, after being down 0-2 in the count, works the walk to get aboard for JT Realmuto. Tom Verducci, you've been tracking this excursion for the Mets.
Yeah, I had them about 3,500 miles, 2 champagne celebrations, 1 hurricane, and to me it's reminiscent of the 2023 Texas Rangers. And that, as Bruce Bochy, the manager, would tell you, was the best thing to happen to that team, propelling them forward with the wins on the road, bonding the team together.
There's nothing better than a long road trip when you win to bring your team together. You can say grimace, you can say OMG pumpkins.
Bouncer to third. Vientos did not have a play at second, so he'll take the out on Realmuto, the catcher, at first. On to scoring position goes Bryson Stott with 2 down in the 4th.
Then going on the road and winning. Right, Wayno? I mean, as a team, you're on the road for 2 weeks. It's just you against the world.
Yeah. Well, I think they probably knew that going into those last couple weeks, and they looked at each other and they go, how fun is this going to be? You know, they took the challenge on, and they came out on top, and they're here. And I guarantee you they'd rather have full suitcases on the road, not being in their beds in the last 2 weeks, than being at home right now, back where they live in the offseason.
Marsh with a 2-out RBI chance. And he lifts one to right field. Marte racing back at the track near the wall. He's got it. And Peterson has left 3 on base in his 2 innings of work. Still 1-0 Philly to the 5th. National League Division Series presented by Booking.com. One of the Cy Young Award candidates, Zach Wheeler, has been sharp in the early going. A Georgia native and former Met. A number 6 pick back in 2009 by the San Francisco Giants. Traded to New York in July of 2011. 126 starts as a Met. He gets Jesse Winker to wave through, trying to check it. It is 0-1 on the New York designated hitter.
Everybody just assumes Chris Sale is going to win the Cy Young, the National League. That's kind of what everyone's talking about.
Jam shot, broken bat, Winker to third for ball. 1 down.
But if you dig in to Wheeler's numbers, we showed his numbers earlier. Not the win, strikeouts, ERA. He's behind Chris Sale, not by much. But you go into WHIP and some of the peripheral numbers, you can make a strong case that he actually should win the Cy Young.
Wayno, you talked about it. The WHIP is insane. To have a WHIP under 1, right? Walks and hits per innings pitched. That is traffic. How much traffic are you dealing with? Anything around 1 is good. Under 1 over the course of 200 innings is very difficult to come by. Very rare to see as Marte shows bunt and takes a ball.
He's just in such command of all of his pitches. You know, he controls the count. You see his pitch count right now at 60 in the 5th. That's how you get to 200 innings, and that's also how you get more strikeouts. If you look at the guys who lead the league in strikeouts every year, when Kershaw and Scherzer were doing that every year, they were the first guys to get 0-2 on every batter.
2-1 on Marte. He just got his 19th swing and miss on that 1-0 delivery. It's a playoff career high for Zach Wheeler, who is making his 12th playoff appearance, all with the Phillies in the last 2+ years. Ooh, that one came inside and got a piece of Marte. And he's frustrated and in pain. The doctors in the Philly crowd have no sympathy whatsoever.
Well, Wheeler knows he's got to, like we said earlier, he's got to get that sinker up underneath his hands. And Marte, looking out over the plate, just leans in a little bit, but that ball ran. That 2-seamer just kept running and got him right on the forearm, right in the middle.
Missed the elbow pad.
That hurts. AJ, what's that feel like, buddy?
Doesn't feel very well. That's why you have that elbow pad. You use that as protection. You kind of shield yourself. But got a helmet spike. Right now, Carlos Mendoza is just hoping Starling Marte can stay in this game, because he gets on first. He's a stolen base threat. Brings so much to this lineup in the bottom third. Looks like he's going to stay in here. But it's like, it would be like if you're sitting at home and someone just walks up to you out of the blue and just punches you in the arm. And you get that knot as hard as they can. You're like, ah, it's jolting.
So Marte will head down to first. Tyrone Taylor's coming up, and a quick word from Capital One.
What's been the highlight of your career? And that'd have to be big guy.
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet?
Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, Tom Verducci down to the field, and A.J. Pierzynski, who was hit 129 times in his major league career, and I would guess some of those were not accidental. 1-0 Phillies on a Kyle Schwarber lead-off bottom of the first inning home run. There have been 3 hits combined in this game. Schwarber has 2 of them. Marte's aboard with 1 down, and here's Taylor taking a strike. Found it on the sweeper that time, did Wheeler.
That's the pitch, though, to Tyrone Taylor. He's going to have to watch out, because Tyrone struggles with the breaking ball when it's away from him, but crushes the breaking ball that sneaks back middle in.
Former 2nd-round pick by the Brewers, Taylor waits as Wheeler deals to first, and Marte's back in. You mentioned it, AJ. Even at 35 years old, Starling Marte, an excellent base stealer in his career, went 16 for 17 this year. And that's with a knee injury that he was dealing with midway through the season.
And he's the active leader in stolen bases right now in Major League Baseball.
0-2 on Taylor. Another check to first on Marte, and he's back in safely. Wheeler is very aware of the current tying run aboard at first. That was his second disengagement. Marte stays, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Taylor.
See, now is a good chance for him to go.
Yeah.
0-2 is a rough pitch because you saw the fastball up. Now 0-2 is probably going to try to get him to chase his slider, sweeper away. Better chance for Marte here to go.
Stays. Taylor off balance, swing on a splitter, and there are 2 down.
You see where that pitch was? It's a foot off the plate inside, but you have to be so ready for the fastball. You chase the stuff off the plate even more. Look at this. So look at the horizontal movement. That thing just bears in underneath his swing.
Now here's the 22-year-old catcher Francisco Alvarez. 2 down with Marte on first, and strike 1 from Wheeler.
Man, he's going to be even more tough if he's getting 6 inches off the plate.
I was going to say, there's been a healthy zone. Wheeler getting ahead again after he struggled with that in the 4th. And now Alvarez down 0-2. Down the right field line, that'll head out of play, foul.
So he went with the first pitch, sinker in, off, got the call, went with the sweeper away, then he rose the 4-seamer at the top. AJ, what are you calling right here as an old catcher?
I'm calling another fastball up, I think, or if you can throw that split in again.
Well, with a sinker near the bottom of the zone, Alvarez laid off to stay alive. A stoic Peterson waits for his chance back out on the mound. Marte at first, 2 down, and a 1-2 pitch from Wheeler to Alvarez. 2-2.
You see him trying to hit that down and away corner. That's his big swing and miss hole down and away. He also has one at the very top if he can get it right above his swing.
Alvarez has been an exceptional power hitter in his minor league career, has shown power at the big league level too. Wheeler staying away from that happy zone. Got him with the sweeper. Strikeout number 7, 2 times through the order for Wheeler, and Schwarber with 2 hits and a homer already is coming up. Today's telecast is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, reminding you to get this season's vaccines. A look at old Connie Mack Stadium 54 years ago when the Phillies beat the Expos 2-1, and the fans are trying to take any bit of paraphernalia and souvenir that they possibly can, including home plate.
It looked like Oakland's last game this year, where people were taking stands out of the.
Johan Rojas waves and misses, and Peterson is quickly ahead, 0-2. Watch this. No, look at the bat. I'll go get the bat.
Looks like disco demolition night at the White Sox Stadium that time.
Bill Beck shaking his head somewhere right now. Peterson to Rojas 0-2, and a jam foul back to the screen.
I've been real impressed with Peterson, man. He's worked that four seam up and the sinker down, that good changeup off of it. He's come in here and done exactly what the Mets needed him to do.
Could have been him, it could have been Tyler McGill, but Peterson getting the opportunity first with all the lefties in this lineup. Close pitch on a curve, and it's 1-2 on the speedy Johan Rojas. It's an excellent center field. If the ball's in play, he can leg it out. This one rolls foul, and still 1-2 on Rojas. Peterson used that sinker more this season. He was getting a lot of ground balls. 50% ground ball rate. Major League average is 42%. The sinker was a big part of it.
Oh no, it's outside.
Changeup misses. Appeal down to first. No swing, says Edwin Moscoso. And the count is even on Rojas.
I mean, the Mets, this is what they needed, but you just have to push a couple runs across against Zach Wheeler, and that's just not easy.
It still goes back to me. Someone on the Mets is going to have to pop it. They're going to have to hit a homer because they're not going to string together 2 or 3 singles. And that was the thing they did against Milwaukee in that wild card round. They hit a lot of singles. They got big hits with 2 outs.
Inside.
Zach Wheeler's not going to do that. He's not going to allow him to do that. His stuff is too good.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Rojas. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. To start the 5th. And he'll take one low, and he's aboard for Schwarber.
Stepping to the plate, Kyle Schwarber. He hit an absolute bomb off Kodai Senga, his first at bat. Other than the home run, the reactions. The lady behind home plate. Oh, that's a homer. And then thumbs up.
The thumbs up that's the coolest thing going right there.
A lot of veterans, a lot of playoff experience on this Philly roster, but Kyle Schwarber seemingly is the alpha in that clubhouse, even with guys like Turner and Harper.
I mean, the thumbs up to me is just as cool as the underside of the pillow. It's just like, guys, we're good. I got this. It's just so, that's just like, it's just as basic and cool as it gets, I think.
Well, you saw his second career playoff home run against St. Louis at Wrigley Field 9 years ago. That's when he first got to the big leagues and started this run where he's been in the postseason just about every year. He's seemingly in the thick of something offensively just about every year. And here he is, 21 playoff home runs later. And now ahead in the count, 2-0 against Peterson with a man aboard. Peterson pours in a strike.
Look for the Mets to maybe start getting something going here. Peterson walked Rojas behind. Yes, he just threw a strike, but he's behind Schwarber 2-0. Once he gets past Bryce Harper, there's a nice little righty pocket in there, whether it's Reed Garrett, Ryan Stanek, someone like that to get up to try to get him through those righties.
Another pickoff from Peterson, a close play, but the speedy Rojas is back in. And remember, this is now the second time through for David Peterson, as he gave up a single to Schwarber in the 3rd when he first came on for Senga. Kodai Senga got the start, went 2 innings, allowed just the Schwarber homer. That's the difference in the game. Rojas goes, and Schwarber fouls it back. It's 2-2. Rojas will head back to first. Kyle Schwarber, 15 leadoff home runs this season. A major league record passing Alfonso Soriano. Always in the thick of it. He's had 3 very productive seasons now with Philadelphia. 66th career playoff game going back to 2015 for the 31-year-old from Ohio. A 2-time All-Star and a World Series champion with the Chicago Cubs. And he'll use his timeout. And Peterson was still staring at Rojas, understandably, at first base. So he didn't realize the time had been called initially.
And Kyle Schwarber's Mr. October. I mean, he's not Reggie Jackson levels, but he's pretty close. He plays in the playoffs almost every year, and it always seems like he comes up and gets big homers.
Gave them the lead in the bottom of the first. 2-2 pitch. 3-2.
That first one he ever hit was against the St. Louis Cardinals. Second one he hit was against St. Louis Cardinals. It's on top of the scoreboard. I think it's still up there. I'll never forget that. Fastball away, Kevin Segrist.
Payoff pitch, runner goes, a little jam shot. Rojas is going to get to second safely. Plenty of time to get Schwarber for Iglesias, but into scoring position goes Johan Rojas. 1 down here in the 5th.
That ball got in on Schwarber right there. It just ate him up. Really nice pitch by Peterson. I thought Rojas, because he was going, might think about just keeping going to third, but Iglesias got rid of it so quickly. See shrapnel go flying everywhere.
Rojas at second. Turner waves and misses at a changeup. Goes changeup to start him off here. Turner went to his 3rd All-Star game this year. More than 1,100 games in the regular season. Now 57 in the playoffs. He's got a World Series title with Washington.
Yeah, I'm with you, AJ. Those misses are starting to get a little bigger.
He's behind in the count, though, constantly. That's the big thing.
Schwarber was 2-0. Turner lifts a 1-1 into right. Alonso out. Drifting along the line, and he makes the catch. Rojas bluffs from second base. Lindor's there to cut it off. And that's a big second out on a man still in scoring position for Bryce Harper, who has walked twice on 9 pitches so far through 2 trips.
Interesting dilemma here. I know it's left on left, and I know Nick Castellanos has been hot. But how careful are you here, Waino, against Harper?
Well, you can't let Bryce Harper get extended right here. You're going to pitch him really tough. They got somebody going in the bullpen now. So they're going to pitch him really, really tough around the edges here. They're going to try to get one under his hands and down and away. But you know they're not going to throw him a fastball to hit.
It is Reed Garrett, as you thought, AJ, a right-hander getting loosened up for this pocket coming up.
Can we put those graphics up with Bryce Harper's runners in scoring position and all the situational hitting that he did during? I know it's the regular season. It's obviously different, but 330. Incredible what this guy does in big situations. And if you're the Mets, yes, look at that. Runners in scoring position, 330, bases loaded. It's like,
yeah. You know what part of that is, AJ? He swings at really good pitches. He is very patient in the zone when he hits in these big spots.
He has not swung at any of the 10 pitches he has seen so far. He walked twice on 4 pitches in the first, on 5 in the third. He's had good numbers against the lefty Peterson coming into this series. 8 for 19. Who wheels around, and Rojas is back in with that arm extended under the tag of Lindor.
That's a great throw. This is not an easy throw to make. When you're spinning and throwing, you don't really have full visual. You just have to kind of rely on muscle memory to throw that ball where you want it. You know, it's not like you're picking up a target and then drilling it home. You're spinning and throwing all in one motion. Great throw right there.
Harper, his first swing is a big one at a curveball, 1-1. Harper waves again at a breaking ball, this time a slider, and Peterson trying to finish off this inning with a man left in scoring position.
And Peterson's got Harper to chase twice. One on a curveball, one on a slider. Can he get the third one, though? Does he go up, or does he throw him another breaking ball away to try to finish him off?
If he's going to chase it, you got to give him a chance to chase it again if you're Peterson right here, I think.
A 1-2 to Harper, and he got him swinging on a fastball. Big strikeout. The Phillies are 0 for 9 with runners on base. The top of the Mets order is coming up in the 6th, and David Peterson, 3 innings of relief, scoreless work so far, and the Phillies still just a 1-0 lead. Francisco Lindor leads off the top of the 6th inning with ball 1. David Peterson joining his fellow starters, Severino, Manaya, Quintana, after 3 excellent innings of relief scoreless. Had to navigate around 3 walks, only gave up 1 hit, and left a couple of men stranded. But Peterson does his job in back of Kodai Senga today. And now he looks on hoping his offense can take over. Zach Wheeler's been excellent so far, but he has started to get behind some more hitters. You boys have been talking about it. It's 3-0 on Francisco Lindor.
He used a lot of adrenaline earlier. You could tell, throwing 98 miles an hour, 99 miles an hour. He was letting it eat early. You know what I loved about that moment right there when Peterson came in? The starters all had eye black on.
And all those guys got the deep eye black coming off the bench. Lindor fouls it away, and it's 3-2. They all got it on. Wheeler to Lindor. The payoff is outside, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Mets. Second time the leadoff man has been on base. Peterson, what a flourish to finish.
Yeah, he did. Started with the fastball away. Probably could have got that call. Then came back with a really good curveball, really good slider. They were wondering what he was going to do, but he followed those good curveball and slider off the plate away, had him looking out there, and elevated the fastball away on him. It was a really good sequence.
Well, the biggest thing for me, you have your best hitter up if you're the Phillies. Great players want to produce in huge moments. And Wayno, you said, oh, he doesn't swing at bad pitches. The moment's big. We're in the postseason. I want to be the man.
Yep.
And what did he do? He got outside his zone. Whereas the first two bats, he just accepted the walk. That one, runner on second, let's go, let's go. Peterson, great job to taking advantage of that.
0-1 on Vientos, who has the lone Mets hit, a single in the fourth. He taps it foul. It's 0-2. These two teams are a combined 0 for 14 with runners on. So credit to Wheeler, Senga, and Peterson for bearing down when runners have been on base. Oh-2. Vientos waves and misses. Strikeout number 8, and the Mets are 0 for 6 with a man aboard. One down in the 6th. Wheeler at 82 pitches through 5 1/3.
It just explodes. It gets about halfway, and where most hitters' eyes see that ball going to drop a little bit, his just stays on plane. It's got 3 or 4 more inches of carry than most average fastballs.
Here's Nimmo. 24 swings and misses, ties a career high for Wheeler in any game, and that has contributed to these offensive numbers between the two clubs thus far. Feels like October baseball. The battery mates are weeping a solitary tear apiece. Nimmo pops it up. Back of second. It is Stott. It is 2 down. Back to first goes Lindor.
This is not a surprise. The Phillies love their starting pitchers to go deep into games. They're second in NL in innings per start. And the Phillies pitchers actually get better with their OPS third time through. It's amazing. They had the lowest OPS for starters third time through in all of baseball in the NL. I mean, there it is. Look at his OPS. I mean, 621. That's great for third time through. Normally it jumps huge. But all of Phillies starters are unbelievable. They're allowed to go deep into games. They're used to it, and they're great at it.
But now it's the third time for Pete Alonso against Zach Wheeler with 2 down and Lindor at first base. One disengagement there. Lindor stole 29 bags in 33 tries this year. Big hole on the right side for Alonso, who takes a huge cut at a fastball. 0-1.
You see how Wheeler has his foot closed as he comes set when he's on the rubber. He's not going to have an extremely quick move to first base. The guys who have really fast moves to first base, their front foot's a little bit open. Him being closed like that so he keep his hip closed just makes him be a little slower to his move to first.
Yeah, but be real careful with Real Muto because he can throw.
He
gets rid of it. And his pop time, which is the key, is one of the best in baseball.
Number 3 in baseball at 1.85 as the excellent lefty Matt Strahm loosens up. There's that closed left foot Wayno was talking about. Alonso will take one high. It's 2 balls and a strike. Real Muto a couple of times in his career has been ridiculous. Somewhere almost around 50% caught stealing. His numbers are closer to league average this year, but over the course of a career, 1 out of every 3 have been caught. Alonso fouls it back. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1-0 game. Game 1, 6th inning. Two-two. 1-0 Phillies on top to the bottom of the 6th. Middle of the Philadelphia order against Reed Garrett. Nick Castellanos. First pitch swinging as he often does, and he swings through a sweeper. 0-1 the count. Reed Garrett, 53 appearances during the regular campaign. Got that splitter that he likes to use. Sweeper is in that mix as well. A cut fastball. He's got a sinker. Missed a month with right elbow inflammation, but came back in September. Mid-August, I should say, and then finished out September.
He's heavy split, heavy sweeper. Not a lot of fastballs. Under 30% fastballs. So you've seen the pitches here to Castellanos. Reed Garrett is gonna throw you a split. He's gonna throw sweepers and cutters. If you're a right-handed hitter, just get ready. You're gonna see something soft more than likely. But he's been great for the Mets. Take away his last outing. Before that, he was lights out.
Gave up 4 runs at Milwaukee. Other than that, been great. Closed the season very strong. The guy who split last year with the Orioles and the Mets as a waiver claim, was in AAA to start this season, up and down all year, but finished strong as AJ mentioned. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Castellanos to start the bottom of the 6th. And he gets him with the splitter. 1 away here in the 6th inning. ALDS continues with our friends at TBS. Royals and Yankees get underway in the playoffs for the first time since the 1980s. And then the Padres and Dodgers renewed their NL West rivalry. They meet for the 3rd time in the playoffs in the last 5 years. TBS and FS1 will have those fun contests coming up tonight. 1 down for Alec Boehm.
One's out.
You see Garrett here. He presets his split grip. He comes set with it already gripped, and so he has to kind of fake his glove like he's changing every time.
Gets Boehm to bounce one to third, and Vientos. Long run, throw to get his counterpart, and it's 2 up and 2 down in the 6th.
And he's got the 98 to go behind the split. He just throws more off speed. But he's got a very good fastball when he does use it.
Yeah, but I would too. If my split opponents are hitting 130 and my sweeper they're hitting 170, why not? If those are your two, that's what pitching in Major League Baseball, especially out of the bullpen, has become. What's your best pitcher too? You're going to throw it almost all the time, especially for 1, maybe 2 innings.
Ball 1.
Stott will take ball 1.
And you see his split's still 91 miles an hour. It's just a variation of the fastball. He just gets right outside those 2 seams and throws it just like his heater.
Ball 2.
He's got that good sinker. It's on those same 2 seams on the split. He just gets right outside of it. It looks exactly the same coming out of the hand.
That's a ground ball foul, 2-1. Opponents hit 132 against that splitter. He had 46 of his strikeouts on that split finger. Stott waves and misses. It's 2-2. A chance for a 1-2-3 6th inning out of the bullpen from Reed Garrett, who's going to use a time right here. Infield shaded towards the line at first. A 2-2. A little tapper in front of the plate. Alvarez, the mask off, the throw down, and a 1-2-3 inning work by Reed Garrett in the 6th. To the late innings we go in game 1. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Don't want to miss a postseason game? Just tell Siri, show me the upcoming MLB schedule. Don't want to miss a postseason game? Just tell Siri, show me the upcoming MLB schedule.
Game 2 of 4 on the opening day of the division series. Game 1 between the Phillies and Mets, first postseason meeting all time. Kyle Schwarber in the first, a solo home run. That's it. Zach Wheeler's been excellent, and he goes to work against Jose Iglesias in what very much feels like will be his final inning of work. Now at 90 pitches. He has 9 strikeouts, and he's got a very good bullpen behind him. Jeff Hoffman has picked up a baseball, is loosening up. Iglesias waves and misses at a splitter. Another swing and miss. He is a playoff record in the pitch tracking era going back to 2008.
And add another one because last pitch he just got one, so you can go ahead and make that 27. Someone's going to have a tough time catching that because that's a lot of swing and misses.
Ahead of Iglesias. Zach Wheeler, a one-time New York Met, says he doesn't hold any grudges against the organization, especially now that there's been so much turnover in the front office and in managerial duties, etc. But New York did not want to match the offer from Philadelphia. That was a very large contract. Wheeler has proven that he has earned it, and he signed an extension with Philadelphia. And it's games like today that have shown you what he's worth.
You see him use all the pitches. He's had everything working. 4 seams at the top, curveballs under. And then that's the one that snuck up on us today. He's using that split.
And now he gets a fastball to jam Iglesias for out number 1 of the 7th.
He's used that split for 3 or 4 of his strikeouts today, and that is something that was not on my radar coming in here. He doesn't throw it a whole lot. I think he was at 7 or 8% coming into the game, and he's used it very effectively today.
He got Alonso in the 6th inning on that splitter to close the inning. He's gotten Tyrone Taylor twice to swing and miss for strikeouts on the split.
I think right now Rob Thompson is going hitter by hitter with Wheeler, especially with these righties coming up for the Mets. After Winker, he's got a bunch of righties. That's when we'll see Hoffman. Now, he'd love for him to get through this 7th. Sure. That saves bullets in the bullpen. But if Winker gets on, I feel like we're going to see Hoffman into this game.
As a starting pitcher, I can tell you he wants to get through this thing too, man. The last thing you want to do is leave one of your guys out there on base. He wants to get through this. Now, the key for these Mets, can they get, because they just want him out of the game, right? Winker's job right here, just get on base however you can. Get this guy out of the game.
Big cut, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, we showed Pete Alonso. He's over 3 or 3 punches. He definitely wants Wheeler out of the game. He doesn't want to see him ever again.
Wheeler's best playoff start was 2 years ago in Game 1 against San Diego in the NLCS. He's putting together a performance like that today. But he's behind Winker, 3 balls and a strike.
Winker, you got to, I keep saying it, 3-1, you got to try and hit one off the Toyota sign out there in right field. You got to try to get him a mistake. He's probably going to throw you a heater up. You just got to cheat like crazy and get the head out.
A 3-1, and there is a fastball that just tied him up. It's 3-2.
I mean, that's a sword, but that, listen, you know what's coming. It's going to be now he can throw you anything. But for 3-1, I mean, you just cheat, put all your chips in and say, if I pull it foul, I pull it foul.
I think that's what happened there. He cheated. It was too far in.
Then so what, right? But I'm doing it again here. If I swing and miss in a split, oh well.
It is ball 4, and Winker gets aboard. The tying run is on base with one down in the 7th, and the bottom third of the order coming up for New York. Hoffman is ready, and Marte is coming up. And Rob Thompson still in that dugout, wanting to put his trust into his best pitcher this season.
Well, and one of the best postseason performers that we've seen in our era.
Now here's Marte. Lashes it foul, 0-1.
Well, you know, as a starting pitcher, you have to love the trust. You have to love the trust that a manager has right here.
Well, and he's earned it all year by going deep in the games. So his manager knows he can trust him in these big moments.
What's up?
Starling Marte right here with Winker on first, and the way the defense is aligned, he's looking for a ball out over the plate to hit between the first baseman and the second baseman. He's done it so many times.
Yep.
And that would also probably allow Winker to go first to third.
Big cut, fastball 1-2.
But he's late because he's trying to shoot that hole.
Yep.
He's late on those. He is trying to let the ball travel and shoot the ball through that hole on the right side.
Thoughts, decisions, pressures in the postseason. One and two on Marte. Who lifts one in the air, shallow left center. Turner, the shortstop, is back for out number 2. This is a playoff career high, 104 pitches for Zach Wheeler. Constant communication between the dugout and bullpen as Tyrone Taylor, who has struck out twice on splitters, will climb in with a man at first and 2 down. Strike 1.
Tyrone Taylor the other day off Schwellenbach, I believe, 13 pitch at bat, got the slider, hit it in the gap. He's come up big for them down the stretch in the season and in those games.
A season-saving at bat. Wheeler, 0-2. Check swing, no swing. 1-2. Another 2-strike offering, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is the exact type of at bat that you need from a guy in the bottom third of your order. At least make it tough on Wheeler, who keeps extending.
This is his last hitter, I feel like, no matter what.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, especially after this extended bat. If Taylor somehow gets on base, he's going to be done either way. But how can Wheeler finish him right here?
We'll try with a 2-2, and it's 3-2 now on Taylor.
Now this is all right. This is a key pitch. Obviously, lots of reasons, right? Obviously, but what he can't do is give in right here and just try to throw a breaking ball, strike over, whatever. He's got to throw that good fastball at the top, trust his stuff, and let it go.
Rush him up. I'm rushing him up. He hasn't shown he can hit it yet.
Runner goes. 3-2 is fouled back, and he went with the fastball that time. Whew, what a battle here.
But even that, Taylor's late. Taylor was late right there. He's punched him out twice already. Does he dare try? If he throws him a split 3-2, he'll strike him out. If it's anywhere close. Now, if it's off the plate, way away in the zone, in the dirt right away, he'll take it. But if he starts as a strike, he'll punch him out.
Winker on the move. The payoff pitch is on the ground to short. Picked up by Turner. Brilliant 7 innings of work from Zach Wheeler in game 1. Thanks to Google Cloud, we're going to send you out to Los Angeles for more baseball coverage with Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, and David Ortiz. KB, thanks so much. Stretch time in Philadelphia, 1-0 Phillies. Zach Wheeler was brilliant. He is with our Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Adam. Zach, you threw 111 pitches with no margin of error in a postseason game. How did it feel out there?
Felt great. You know, pitching in front of this crowd. You know, it keeps you going through 7 and keeps you going, you know, deeper into the game with that adrenaline.
Speaking of adrenaline, you came out of the box, 10 straight fastballs, 7 of them harder than you threw all year long. The hardest you've thrown in a couple of years. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. You know, JT, we usually start out with some fastballs. It's my best pitch, so I'm going to throw it. You know, it just depends on how they're looking, how long I, you know, keep with it. But, you know, we got to throw it, and JT called a great game back there. Defense was good behind me.
Yeah, let me ask you about JT. You told me that maybe once or twice you might shake JT in a game. I'm not sure I saw any today. Tell me about the game that he called behind the plate.
Yeah, I didn't shake once. Great game, in and out, up and down. We're always going to pitch to my strengths. And, you know, I put all my trust in him to call the game. I just try to go out there and execute it.
Most swings and misses in a playoff game in 5 years. That was some outing. Thank you.
Thank you.
AJ used the term tone setter when we started the broadcast. That is an impressive way to set the tone. And now his battery mate will lead things off in the home 7th against Reed Garrett, who goes into inning number 2 of relief, trying to pad the thinnest of leads at 1-0. Real Muto will take a strike.
We talked to Wheeler yesterday. I've always watched him and said he tries to go one time through with just fastballs. And when I said that, he goes, I don't even know, because JT calls the game. Wait, what?
Vientos shuffling to his right has to scoop it to throw a Real Muto.
And as a former catcher, it reminds me of Chris Sale, who's going to win the Cy Young in the NL this year, right? Never shook me off. Mark Burley never shook off. That is such a good feeling as a catcher, because that guy, Wheeler, has all the trust in the fingers you're putting down. And that is just so awesome. He said, yeah, I'll shake him off. If I throw a bad slider, I'll shake him off because I know how to make the adjustment. But more than likely, I'm going exactly what JT throws down.
There's Brandon Marsh. Zach Wheeler is not the first Philadelphia pitcher to say, I trust JT Real Muto over the course of Real Muto's tenure with Philadelphia.
Is easily one of the best catchers of our generation, best receivers, blockers of the ball, throwers of the ball, game caller. He really is the total package back there. And it's, you know what, it's such a big deal. Catchers should get more MVP votes. I mean, it's just such a big deal. It affects the entire pitching staff when you have a catcher back there like that.
1-1 to Marsh. Alvarez receives that one outside. It's quite the juxtaposition. You got JT Real Muto, a guy of a lot of experience, a lot of games called, and then on the other side for the Mets, you got a 22-year-old catching, trying to manage what has been at times a patchwork pitching staff and bullpen this year in Francisco Alvarez. Really interesting juxtaposition we've got in this series. 2-2 on Marsh.
But if you ask the Mets, they'll tell you how valuable Alvarez was, because Alvarez went out
early
and they went down. He came back, and it coincided with Grimace, so I'm not going to give Grimace and OMG and everything else the Mets had, but he is very valuable to this Mets team.
On the ground towards the left side, it is scooped up by Vientos. On the move, had to make that play. And back-to-back plays by Vientos to get the first 2 outs of the inning, as he's got a big smile after that play to get Marsh. That'll bring up the speedy Rojas.
As a pitcher, I'm probably a little bit biased, but I love a pitcher's duel. It's just good TV. I know you like seeing offense and home runs and stuff, but man, the drama that comes behind a 1-0 game, hard to beat.
Rojas taps it foul. Credit to Zach Wheeler. Credit to the Mets staff. Senga went 2. Peterson went 3. Garrett into his second inning. This has been a very well-pitched ball game between these two longtime rivals.
One mistake.
One mistake.
It was the leadoff hitter of the game for the Phillies.
0-2 on Rojas.
From a guy who hasn't pitched since July, and that was his only outing of the year. It's amazing just how good. Obviously, Zach Wheeler is incredible. But Senga, then Peterson, and now Reed Garrett.
This is what you show up in the postseason for, man. A tight game, 1-0. 2 outs in the 7th of game 1. Garrett trying to put an end to this frame. Second career playoff appearance for Garrett. After the wild card series, a 1-2 to Rojas is lifted in the air to left. Nimmo is right there. Haven't seen a whole lot head to the outfield today. That one does to close the 7th. The Mets looking for some of that magic. They'll have Lindor, their team MVP, due up second in the 8th.
MLB season, FanDuel is taking you out to every ball game.
Welcome back to the 2024 National League Division Series on Fox, presented by Booking.com on a beautiful night in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Game 1 into the 8th. And the right-hander Jeff Hoffman to Francisco Alvarez for strike 1. Hoffman, the New York native from Albany County, 6'5", 235 pounds, was one of a handful of guys that was asked to close for the Phillies this year. Alvarez loops one towards short. It's past Turner into left center field. The leadoff man is on base for the 3rd time for the Mets. It is the 9-hitter Alvarez. And that'll set it up for Lindor. And that'll set it up for Harrison Bader to come in as a pinch runner. Nobody had more comeback wins, or nobody has had more comeback wins counting the postseason than the Mets. Only Cleveland and the Dodgers had more during the regular season. Both of the wins in Milwaukee were comeback wins. And Alvarez is done. Luis Torrens will get ready to be the new catcher. But Alvarez gets just the 2nd Mets hit of the night, and the speedy Harrison Bader is the tying run for Lindor.
You see how excited that dugout is right now? Sometimes it doesn't matter how nasty the guys that are coming in behind the starter are. If the starter's cruising like that and you get him out of the game, it's like this breath of fresh air. You're ready. You can tell they're excited, man. They're on the top step, all of them.
No matter how good the starting pitcher was against it, you're just happy to
get him out.
The breath of fresh air, the feeling's different, I would imagine. Nothing. It's 2 on Lindor. That doesn't account for how nasty Hoffman has been. A 97-mile-an-hour heater. That ridiculous slider, and he's got the split finger in his back pocket.
Slider's his pitch. I mean, you've seen 2 to Lindor right there. Lindor trying to make this a 2-1 game.
Was he under that last one?
Yes.
AJ?
Lindor, boy, waves at one that was skipping in the dirt, and just got a piece of it. Almost on a bounce. Bader will head back to first base on a foul ball.
Hey, here's that one 2 times ago. He's under that ball. You see, he ain't trying to shoot that ball to left.
I think Lindor just cricketed that ball foul.
He probably could have played that into getting on first base right there.
First is occupied, though, so he would have been
first
out.
You're
so
right,
it's much better to fake like he touched it.
That's right.
Because you can't review it.
And you get new life. Another 0-2 is high.
And now here comes the slider.
Yeah.
I showed him a heater. All right, let's get this slider ready. But one of the key stats here for me is, as we see Alvarez giving some hugs, what a great job by the young man. The Mets are best in baseball in 1-run games. They know these games. They've dominated these games. 28-16 in 1-run games during the regular season. So the Mets are comfortable in these games.
You have to get comfortable if you're going to be 11 games under 500 in early June and muscle your way back into the postseason. You have to win tight games. The Mets were able to. Lindor takes down and in. Nice knockdown by Real Muto behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Francisco Lindor.
You see Lindor keep his foot still right there. He was trying to take that ball. He didn't want to get hit, obviously, but right here he'll take that chance. He'll wear one off the ankle if it puts him on first base and the other guy goes to second.
Alvarez got the hit. Bader pinch running for him. He's cheering on Lindor on a 2-2.
Oh no.
And Lindor, after being down 0-2, has worked the count full.
Now Bader's hopping around like crazy over there. Why? Last 2 seasons, opponents are 12 for 13 off Hoffman and stolen bases. If I'm the Mets, I'm sending him right here. Try to stay out of the double play. Counting on Francisco Lindor to put the ball in play.
Bader stays. Lindor takes ball 4. And the go-ahead run is on base for New York. The tying run is in a scoring position. A reminder that tonight the American League Division Series in the Bronx will get going between the Royals and the Yankees. Then out west, Padres and Dodgers, TBS and FS1, 6:30 and 8 o'clock Eastern time. I hope they're as good as what we have seen today. This has been a thriller so far. Caleb Cotham is going to make his way out to chat with Hoffman as Vientos will come to the plate with 2 men on and nobody out. Now a quick word from FanDuel.
This MLB season, FanDuel is taking you out to every ball game.
So Vientos is coming up, a right-hander. On deck is Brandon Nimmo, the lefty. And Matt Strahm, who's a reverse split guy but pitches well against everybody, has had an excellent campaign, is loosening up behind Hoffman.
And that's why this meeting's taking so long. They're yelling down there, Strahm, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, please hurry up. This is Hoffman's 3rd batter. They can have Strahm come in. That's why that meeting was so long. Now, Waino, do you bunt? Do you bunt with Vientos here? Do you try it?
I don't bunt. I think he's had one of the sneaky best seasons, and he's leading this team in slugger percentage right now. This is their guy that they want to drive the runs in.
The 24-year-old Vientos takes strike 1. All 3 batters have been down 0-1 against Hoffman in this 8th inning.
That's an interesting take, though. You'd think he'd be ready to come unglued. First pitch, strikes.
That was a good pitch, though. That was painted down and away.
The old inside move that you spend hours working on in spring training. I think I've seen one guy get picked off at second with an inside move my entire career. But it does keep him honest out there.
Wow. Another good fastball, and it's quickly 0-2 as Vientos watches 2 go by.
See, for me, he's got the scouting report on Hoffman. It says 40+% slider, and then he takes 2 heaters. That's where sometimes scouting reports, you just got to go up there and look for 1 pitch.
Now he tried the slider and missed.
And see, that take tells me he's looking slider.
Yeah. Vientos is a middle-in hitter. That's where all his slug comes from. If he can locate something down and away like he did that first pitch, he's probably going to take it again, AJ.
Orion Kerkering, the flame-throwing right-hander, has joined Matt Strahm in the Philadelphia bullpen. 2 on, nobody out. 1-0 Phillies in the 8th. And a 1-2 to Vientos. Is into left field, down for a base hit. Here comes Bader. He'll score the tying run. On his way to third, Lindor. He is safe. Into second, Vientos. And the biggest hit of the young man's career ties game 1 at 1.
Wayno, what'd you say about Zach Wheeler coming out? It reminds you of the 2020 World Series. Blake Snell came out against the Dodgers, and Robbie Thompson's coming to get Hoffman, but anybody, bring in anybody.
It doesn't matter who.
Alvarez got the leadoff single. Bader came in to pinch run. Lindor walks, and Vientos drives him in. A 1-1 game here in the 8th, and the late innings agree with New York in the playoffs. All 3 hitters were behind of Hoffman. All 3 reach. It's 1-1. Here's Matt Strahm, the lefty, against Brandon Nimmo with the infield in. And Nimmo goes around, 0-1. They are really in. A step or 2 in on the grass.
They are way in. The shortstop and second base, Matt Strahm, had a great year. All-star this year. Does a great job with inherited runners. He has been unbelievable. Look at where the middle infielders for the Phillies are. They are way in on the cut.
Lindor at third, Vientos at second. Strahm to Nimmo. 0-2.
Strahm's got one of those heaters You know, it's not lighting up the radar gun like some late inning relievers you see coming in, but it sure plays like it. He blows that fastball right by people, and he throws majority fastballs.
Average velocity 93, but he struck out 54 on that pitch this year. 0-2. Nimmo the other way, and the Mets will take the lead in the 8th. Lindor scores, and Nimmo delivers. It's 2-1 New York as they've come alive in the 8th. And another hitter for the Mets behind in the count. All 4 in this inning behind. All 4 have reached base to score a pair.
But yes, I understand Matt Strahm has a great fastball. He just got 2 awful swings on sliders. He tries to fool him. Yes, he missed location.
Yeah.
Real Muto wanted it up. But why not have him try and chase another slider?
Yeah, you could tell he was going to go way up top there and then come back to the slider. Probably he just didn't. He didn't get to location.
I mean, mistakes happen. I get it.
If they'll chase, let them chase, though, right?
Alonso takes a strike. Another first pitch strike to a Met hitter here in the 8th.
You could feel that dugout over there come alive as soon as Wheeler got out of the game.
And Alvarez got the hit.
That
first guy.
That was big. That was big for sure.
Fouled back, 0-2. Strahm to Alonso, and he just got a piece of it. Stays alive at 0-2. Strahm trying to put Alonso away here in the 8th. Runners at the corners and nobody out. 2 across for New York to take the lead. And Alonso sends one in the air. Left center field. Rojas is back. Should be deep enough to score Vientos. And the Mets in the late innings have put across 3. It's 3-1 New York. Alvarez got the base hit. Bader pinch runs. Lindor walks, and then Vientos turned the inning around.
On a slider. First 2 pitches, remember Waino?
Yep.
Down and away fastballs. Yes, he's way out in front of that. But then he took the 0-2 slider, and I said, he's looking slider. That wasn't a bad slider, but it wasn't a great slider. And what does Vientos do? Reach out, pokes it for a double to give Mets all the life in the world.
Whew. Harper had to rescue that offering towards first base from Strahm. Vientos' base hit got Senga fired up.
Spit the hook.
Nimmo put him in front. Alonso adds with a sac fly. And now Iglesias will take a wide strike.
And think about the hit Nimmo got to give him a lead. Opponents against Strahm, 0-85 with 2 strikes. Coming into that at bat. 114 off a slider, 159 off his fastball. All the numbers are great, but he made a mistake.
Yep.
And here you go. It's Mets magic.
It's like they're comfortable in that spot, aren't they?
We mentioned the numbers in 1-run games and close games here.
Well, it feels like for at least a week, if not 2 weeks, every game's been a
For them.
playoff style game. I am not talking about layoff at all. Nobody cares about that anymore. It's individualized to each team and what you do to execute. But what you guys talked about as a team building exercise, what Verducci was talking about down on the field, they never feel like they're out of a game seemingly. Iglesias fouls it back to stay alive.
Well, this is an incredibly important save that run at first base right here if you're Strom. You have to leave him out there. You got 1, 2, 3 coming up in the order.
Yep.
You know, 2 runs down and in Citizens Bank Ballpark is nothing with that lineup, so you got to hold your team right there.
And Schwarber, Turner, and Harper are still to come. Fouled away.
What I want to see is how Carlos Mendoza handles these last 2 innings. Now, obviously, Diaz, I would assume, would get the 9th. But how does he get to the 8th? Because Phil Maton's up warming. He had a rough go last time out against Milwaukee. Now, he's up and throwing. He's had an unbelievable year for the Mets. But how quick will the hook be? I mean, is it 3 hitters and he's out if someone gets on? And who will be the next guy for the Mets?
You know what? This is such a big win. He may send Matone out there, but he might warm up Diaz right behind him.
There is Diaz, who has thrown 105 pitches in the last 7 days. Runner goes, and Iglesias pops it foul. Nimmo back to first. One for 21 against Zach Wheeler, and a complete shift against the bullpen of Philadelphia here in the 8th inning.
If you would have told Robbie Thompson before this game, Rob Thompson, Wheeler goes 7, no runs, give it to your bullpen as good as they've been, I said, we win.
Yeah,
we absolutely win this game. We're up 1-0, and kind of a bloop hit by Alvarez. The big hit by Vientos. And there's Aaron Nola saying, man, I got to wait till game 3.
Rob Thompson announced Christopher Sanchez, who's been significantly better at home than on the road, and a left-hander scheduled for game 2. Iglesias lashes yet another one foul, battling at the plate. Tenth pitch of this plate appearance coming. 7 foul balls from Iglesias, who's in the middle of the lineup. Carlos Mendoza said for his bat-to-ball skill. He keeps putting bat to ball to stay alive. Strom staring at Nimmo. Comes home. Back up the middle into center field. A base hit. The line keeps on moving, and that battle belongs to Iglesias.
What an at-bat that was. How about that approach, AJ? You just foul off the 4 seams over and over, away, 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 and then you stay on the slider and hit it back up the middle. That's pretty good hitting.
That was a great at bat. Fouling him off the other way late, and then he gets a mistake and just lines it up the middle. That's why he's in.
And here comes Rob Thompson. J.D. Martinez had grabbed the bat, getting ready to come in as a pinch hitter. He is announced. And now Rob Thompson will make the move to Orion Kerkering. The Mets have scored thrice in the 8th. an OMG inning for the New York Mets. Alvarez started it off with a base hit against the bullpen. Vientos drove in the tying run. Nimmo drove in the go-ahead run. Alonso added a sac fly for some insurance. Still only one out recorded by the two all-star relievers, Hoffman and Strahm. And now another good one in Kerkering comes in to face the pinch-hitting J.D. Martinez, who steps in for Winker here in the 8th inning. 23-year-old from Huntington Beach, California. Heavy sweeper and a really good fastball. There's the sweeper, and he gets a strike on Martinez, 1-1.
Lots and lots of sweepers. J.D. Martinez, one of the great hitters of the last 10 years. Struggled a little bit this year, especially against right-handed pitching. That's why he didn't start today. Coming in to hopefully get the lefty. Instead, he knocks it up the middle for a hit.
Back up the middle into center field. Rojas grabs it around third. Nimmo. The throw goes to third. Not in time. Iglesias is safe. Martinez off the bench with an RBI single to extend the New York lead.
It's amazing. It really is amazing how it just flipped. The Phillies were in complete control of this game. We said it between innings, though. It's only 1-0. It felt like it was a much bigger lead for the Phillies than what it was. And Adam, like you said, they brought in their best two relievers, and now they're down 4-1. It's incredible how the momentum flipped.
They're still looking to tack on. Now it's Marte taking ball one. The disappointment on the face of Strahm. Nimmo heavily involved in this 8th inning.
I've seen it so many times with Marte. They always, I mean, this is every team. Plays that second baseman up the middle. You got the first baseman holding. Starlin Marte is not trying to do too much right here. He's trying to use that second base hold.
He sends one in the air, left center field. Rojas angles back over. He's got it for out number 2. That will score Iglesias, and a 5-run 8th inning. The Mets have put together big innings all season long. They've done it in the postseason, and now they've done it here in Game 1. 56 times now, 4 or more in a single frame.
And just, they use the whole field. They productive outs this inning. Both their outs are sac flies. A clinic this inning by the Mets offense, who look dead. They look dead, and this inning completely flipped it.
And no extra base hits in the frame.
This is what we remember against Milwaukee. A lot of singles until the home run by Alonso.
Taylor pops it up. You talked about it earlier. That was the thing. Can they string hits together? They could not do it against Wheeler. He comes out, the bullpen in, and the Mets go to work. 5 runs, 5 hits. The big boys are coming for Philly in the 8th. Today's telecast is sponsored by Geico. For savings and service, get more with Geico. And by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Everybody getting in on it for the Mets to score 5 runs. They had 1 hit through the first 7 innings. They had 5 to bring home 5 in that frame. Phillies at the top of their order, due up, down by 4 against Phil Maton, who blew Game 2 in the wild card series in Milwaukee. Had a very good season otherwise, but is trying to bounce back after that rough performance. 2 balls and no strikes on Schwarber. The bench is now empty for the Mets. Torrens takes over for Marte in the 7-hole and is behind the plate. Iglesias moves to third. Acuna takes the spot of Vientos in the 2-hole and is at second base. Bader stays in the 9-hole in center field, moving Taylor to right. This has been the formula for Mendoza throughout the entirety of the postseason in all 4 games. Schwarber has both hits for the Phillies. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. One of those hits was the lone run back in the first on a blast to right. You're all caught up.
I'm glad you did that because there's guys everywhere.
Right here, if you're Maton, you got to challenge the strike zone. You cannot give free passes to get this team back in the lineup or back into the game.
Schwarber stays alive. No one got a piece of Torrens. It was a long while ago that Kyle Schwarber banged one out. A look at StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The first batter for the Phillies in the first.
Just an absolute blast. Senga threw him a heater. Second deck up there, just a blast.
Called strike 3 on a generous pitch on the outer edge. Schwarber disappointed, and it's 1 down in the 8th.
No, how a relief pitcher can come in throwing 91, 90. You wonder how that's possible? Because they have nasty off-speed stuff almost always. And he's got the great curveball. He's got the great sweeper. He's got a good sinker. He moves the ball around really well.
But he's one of the, Maton's one of the new age relievers. A lot of cutters, a lot of curveballs. David Robertson, who's still pitching, kind of brought that into vogue. But you look at like a Mark Melanson, right? Ryan Presley in Houston. That's kind of the new thing, is cut it and then throw curveballs and sweepers off of that cutter.
One ball and 1 strike on Trey Turner, seeking his first hit of the night. Trying to get something going for Philadelphia. This is, I don't want to call it a trend necessarily. It's just happened in inopportune times for the Phillies in the playoffs the last couple of years, where suddenly the offense goes cold. It happened in the World Series a couple of years ago. It happened in the final 2 games against Arizona in the LCS last year. Phillies trying to avoid that tonight, and more importantly going forward in this series, because it happened in Game 6 and it happened in Game 7 against the D-backs last year with a 3-2 lead coming back home, and they only mustered 11 hits and 3 runs in those 2 games.
AJ, do you think it's possible that when they see their starter out there dominating like that, you sit back and get complacent a little bit, or no?
Strikeout, 2 down.
I would hope not. But when you got a guy dealing the way he is, but also let's give the Mets bullpen credit, okay?
Yes.
I mean, Senga 2 innings fine, but then Peterson, Reed Garrett gave him 2 solid innings, and now here Maton is. The one thing I'll say that's different is Arizona last year in the LCS made a complete flip of how they were pitching. They just breaking balled them to death. This has just been good pitching.
Yeah.
Two down for Harper. Way outside. Taking a look at Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. Excellent hard hit rate, well above league average. And that's a hard hit ball, but foul. We thank Google Cloud for powering the real-time insights on Bryce Harper and company. That was his on-base percentage. .73 during the year. League average is .312. Big cut, and it's 1-2.
And there's the cutter, and now he backs it with a curveball. I mean, that is the new age of pitching. If you can't throw that four-seamer that rides and stays up, cut it, throw the curveball / sweeper off of it.
Lashed foul.
And he's throwing the cutter at the top of the zone, so that puts Bryce's eyes up there, and then you throw the curveball off of it. That's what they talk about, tunneling.
Check out his demeanor, too. He's just as laid back as it gets out there. Calm in any situation.
Oh.
Like he's, I know he's not, but it looks like he's just kind of like bored out there almost. You know, those guys like that control their heartbeats, they can really slow the game down.
22nd career playoff appearance for Maton.
Oh,
tries to drop in a curveball, and a good take by Harper to run the count full.
You got to make him hit one to the moon here. You cannot walk him like you said, Wayne. Challenge Bryce Harper, and if he hits one to the moon, you still got a 3-run lead.
Payoff pitch to Harper is down the right field line, floating fair into the corner. Harper hustling with his first base hit of the night, and it's an extra base hit with 2 down in the 8th.
He challenged him. He broke his bat. He got in on him. Harper's just too strong and too quick. Just lashes the ball down the right field line for a double.
So now Castellanos, who's been fairly aggressive tonight, as he often is, he'll climb in. On the ground towards the hole, past the diving Lindor. Harper's going to get the stop sign from Dusty Wathan. Going to keep him right there. That'll put the tying run on deck with 2 down, and that'll keep the line moving to Alec Bohm.
You can't send him right here. As much as Castellanos and the Phillies fans want him to send him, he gets the ball before he gets to third. Harper's already been told to stop. That run means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Are you looking for the big one right now? If you're Philly, you're looking for a home run for Bohm, or an extra base hit.
You need Alec Bohm to get on base so the next guy can tie the game.
Yep. Keep passing the baton.
Ryan Stanek, another playoff veteran who spent time with Maton in Houston. He's backing him up right now in the New York bullpen. Alec Bohm has pop. A first-round pick to a first-time All-Star this year. Has Harper at third after the double and the Castellanos single. In his 31st career playoff game over the last 2+ years. Has had some big hits in the later rounds. Has not been great in the division series. None of that matters right now. Trying to get on base and get a run home. Foul back, 0-1.
Maton's kind of backed up that cutter this whole inning. It's worked in his favor a lot of times. The left-handers, he was working it up and away by accident. He was getting away with it, but this is a dangerous hitter to throw the backup to.
Big cut on a cutter. Oh, it was over the meat part of the plate.
Yeah, but again, make him swing the bat. Make him get the hits to beat you. Do not walk anybody. And he hasn't done that. You're just hoping, hey, now you're ahead 0-2. Make a pitch right here. You have the inning here. You still have a 4-run lead. Just don't beat yourself here if you're a Mets fan.
On the ground, hugging the line, foul. Bohm was in the home run derby this year. The eventual winner, Teoscar Hernandez, got him in the semis. Schwarber still responsible for the only Philadelphia run. Maton 1 strike away from getting out of the 8th inning. And an 0-2 is fouled away. Bohm helped The Phillies clinched their playoff spot on September the 20th against the Mets, had a 4-hit, 4 RBI game with a home run at Citi Field the night they clinched. But since then, is 2 for his last 30. Trying to get on. Maton with a breaking ball. No swing, says Moscoso, and it's 1-2. Harper and Castellanos. Bohm grounds one towards third. It is gloved by Iglesias. The throw to Acuna at second to finish the inning. And a sigh of momentary relief for the Mets fans in Philly. New York with a 5-1 lead to the final frame. Your team, your players, your home for postseason baseball. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Tanner Banks will step in. The 32-year-old from Utah is making his major league playoff debut after 130 regular season appearances. Harrison Bader for his first plate appearance of the postseason. He's been a defensive sub in the wild card series, came in as a pinch runner for Alvarez and scored the tying run in the 8th. He lashes it foul. It's 0-2. Banks, almost even split between his slider and his fastball, a third of the time apiece, just about. Bader into center. That's down for a base hit. A 2-strike hit, and the Mets keep doing it with 2 strikes. A lot of the hitters in the 8th inning were behind in counts and still were able to put together some good swings.
Well, this is what the Mets did against Milwaukee. No, there's no home run in this, Mix. Contact, right? Yes, they're out in front, but there's contact. Then they start going the other way. And watch Iglesias after a huge at bat, right up the middle. JD Martinez up the middle. And then here we go, Bader up the middle. Just trying to put the ball in play. Contact still matters.
Lindor goes around as he turns around to bat right-handed against the lefty Banks.
That's kind of the recipe for the Dodgers' success through the years, in my opinion, too. They pass the baton. No one's trying to do too much. They trust the guys behind them.
Well, the best at that forever has been the Astros until this year.
Yeah, the Astros are that way. Like Freddie Freeman, though, in those big spots, like you were talking about earlier, he always just, look, he's going to take what you give him. He'll pass the baton. Justin Turner was that way. That Dodgers, the Bregman and Altuve, they all do that. You're right.
Lindor waves and misses at a good fastball from Banks. That's his first career playoff strikeout. And there's one down here in the 9th. That'll bring up Luis Angel Acuna. Excellent job by Peterson in the Mets bullpen earlier tonight. Mets bullpen has been excellent. First playoff at bat for the younger brother of one-time National League MVP Ronald. Luis Angel Acuna was a major prospect that they picked up from Texas in the Max Scherzer trade. And he is on after playing 14 games in the regular season and hitting 3 home runs, 2 of which came against Philadelphia. Debuted 3 weeks ago when Francisco Lindor was out with a back issue. Lindor had missed 8 straight games with that back issue, and the Mets stayed alive in the playoff race long enough for him to come back. And Acuna did some good things. Banks will check on first.
I saw him in the locker room clubhouse today. He looks just like his brother.
Yeah, he does.
He's got the yellow arm sleeve. It's crazy how much he looks like his brother.
Same kind of swagger and mannerisms in the box, too.
The gold chain, the sleeve. There goes the runner. Pitch is high, throw down to second base, and in time to get Bader. Oh no, they're going to say a juggle. Bryson Stott juggled it, could not squeeze it. And as of now, Bader is safe. It was originally going to be an out call, but the second base umpire, Doug Eddings, says there was a bobble out of the glove. Watch it here. Right there. Wow. That is really close, too. So Bader gets in a scoring position on a steal. And Acuna takes called strike 3. Banks comes back to get the second out.
What's the possession? What's the possession rule? I mean, what's the possession rule? Because he tagged him, and then it just, it's like the NFL, Adam. It's like, what's a catch?
It's a judgment call there to see how long did you possess. Did you complete the process of the catch through the slide and tag? Apparently. Here is Nimmo.
Inside.
He's got it there, but when he hits the ground again, it bounces up just a little bit. Did he make a baseball play, right?
Got all this football replay terminology. Nimmo towards second, off the glove of Stott. He can't catch a break. Bader comes in to score, and it's 6-1 New York. Oh, Stott's going to be kicking himself there. And the Mets tack on to take a 5-run lead in the 9th with 2 outs.
Little breaking ball. Nimmo hits this ball hard. Stott thought he had it. Tough play, diving to your left, just ticks off his glove. Bader scores easily.
Inside for ball 1 to Alonso, and Brandon Nimmo continues to come up with big at-bats. There's a strike to Alonso. The Mets had 1 hit through 7 innings. They have 7 in the last 2 frames. All 8 hits are singles tonight. Stringing it together against the Philadelphia bullpen. That was fresh and ready and lined up with really good arms. And the Mets have at times nickel and dimed and at times solidly contacted their way into scoring 6 in the late innings.
Listen, in the postseason, there ain't no nickel and diming out of them. They all count. They all count. And interesting here, Stanek's up, not Edwin Diaz. Carlos Mendoza would love to get Edwin Diaz another day. And all these insurance runs, Sugar's back there just
still
relaxing.
got his sweatshirt on and everything.
But Mendoza would love to not have to pitch Edwin Diaz. Just another day. He's thrown so much, so many high leverage situations. If he can get him another day, that's another huge win for the Mets.
2-2 to Alonso. He's fouled away. Well, you mentioned the possession rule, so this is perfect timing to let you know. Big day of football, week 5 on Fox, 1 Eastern. What a amazing surprise that Jaden Daniels has been. The Browns and Commanders, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals taking on Brock Purdy and the Niners. Alonso to center field. Rojas is there. Another key run for the Mets to take a 6-1 lead and to try to take one on the road in Philadelphia. Stanek's coming in. Stott, Real Muto, and Marsh are coming up with 3 outs left. National League Division Series presented by Booking.com. 1 hit against Wheeler through 7. Absolute dominance from Zach Wheeler. And then the Mets, as they've done all week long, have come alive in the late innings. The New York Post, the back pages, the Miracle Mets, the Bear Bash by the Polar Bear Pete Alonso. The win on Monday in heroic fashion by Lindor in Atlanta with Diaz coming out for 40 pitches. All the drama that has taken place just in a week's span alone extended out to even 2 weeks. And the Mets trying to stun the Phillies here in game 1. Stott will lead it off against Stanek. And it's strike 1.
Ryan Stanek has done it all. He started as the opener. He's closed. He's been good for the Mets. A lot of splits, four-seamers and splits. Challenge you up in the zone 98 plus and then throw that split off of it.
Signed with the Mariners this year after the last 3 seasons with Houston, where he pitched well against Philadelphia in the World Series. It's his 26th career playoff game. Was traded to New York before the end of July. He's had an up and down year, but picked up 2 key scoreless outings in Milwaukee this week. And now trying to finish off game 1.
Oh, no, it's up.
2-2.
This would be an absolutely tremendous lift for the New York Mets.
They get the first out with Stanek on a fastball. Tom Verducci, we talked about it. You've been tracking this weird, wacky, wild run for New York.
Yeah, it so has. Rob Thompson. How prescient was his words before this game, telling us if you get them down, you better put them away. Philadelphia scored on its first at bat. Nothing since. On Monday, the Mets are down 7-6 in the 9th and win the game. On Tuesday, down 4-3 in the 5th and win the game. On Thursday, down 2-0 in the 9th and win the game. And here on Saturday, down 1-0 in the 8th, 2 outs away from winning the game. In the words of Casey Stengel, amazing.
Tom, just to add to your point, the last 2 games, the 3rd game of the wild card against Milwaukee and tonight, in the 8th and 9th innings, they're 10 for 20 with 10 runs. That's just the 8th and the 9th inning.
I'm thinking inside that clubhouse, knowing that you took the very best from their best guy, and then you get to show up again the next day, potentially up, I know so not over yet, but up one game to nothing. When you knew you had a bullpen game, that is just, that's as big a momentum shift as there could possibly be going into a visiting park too, a tough place like Citizens Bank.
Well, you can't get any more different than the 2 bullpens. The Mets 6 1/3 so far, no runs, and Philly 2 innings in the 6th spot.
2-2 pitches outside. This is what the Mets did in game 1, bullpen wise, right? Severino had a really good outing, and then Jose Buto had 2 scoreless. Ryan Stanek finished game 1 off. The Mets retired the final 17 Brewers in game 1. It was the home run ball that bit them in games 2 and 3, and the offense bailed them out. Ball 4 though here to Real Muto. Be a part of history by helping select the 2024 All-MLB team presented by MGM Rewards. You can vote today for the players you believe had the best performance this season. Terms and conditions apply. See MLB.com/All-MLB for details. Here's Marsh. As of now, it was announced Luis Severino tomorrow at 4:08 Eastern, game 1 in Milwaukee. The left-hander Christopher Sanchez, who was excellent at Citizens Bank Park, slated to go in game 2 for Philadelphia. There's a couple of reasons for that. We thought maybe Aaron Nola could pitch if the Phillies lost game 1. But Rob Thompson, we asked him, and again, could still change his mind, I guess, but he likes the right-left thought with Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola, Suarez. And the drastic home road split for Sanchez is probably the biggest factor for wanting Sanchez to pitch at home.
There's the matchup, but yes, what you said is the biggest thing. He wants Sanchez because the numbers are unbelievable different at home in front of the home crowd instead of hostile Citi Field.
Marsh hits it hard to center. Bader backing. He's got it for the 2nd out. Sanchez went 7-3, 2.21 ERA here. On the road, his ERA was over 5. So that's the big split that we came into this series thinking about. Cody Clemens will step in for his playoff debut. The son of Roger Clemens, the 11-time All-Star and 2-time World Series champion. Clemens on for his first ever playoff game. Dad Roger, 35 playoff appearances, 34 starts, and a couple of times pitched against the Mets in the World Series in 2000 with the Yankees and in '86 with the Red Sox. Defensive indifference as Real Muto will take second base.
He pitched in a couple of the famous games for them against the Mets. I mean, obviously '86.
Yep.
But let's not forget the old Yankees Mike Piazza incident that which was people don't forget in New York for sure.
A strike to Cody. Two and two. Clemens fouls it back.
The Mets have done everything in this game to just eliminate this hostile crowd from Philly. They took Wheeler's best punch, and then they went out and beat the bullpen. Crowd was going crazy. Wheeler was getting strikeouts. Schwarber hits the home run to lead off the game. All they did was absorb it and come back.
One strike away. Stanek to Clemens. Popped up foul. Philadelphia will try to bounce back tomorrow. If this score holds, it would be 3 straight home playoff losses going back to last year. For one of the toughest atmospheres in baseball, and it was rocking at 4 o'clock. 3 and 2. Payoff pitch to Clemens is hit hard down the right field line towards the corner and down. And the first playoff hit of Cody Clemens' career will produce the first Philly run since the first. They'll make some noise here in the ninth. It's 6-2.
Yeah, they're going to try to get back in this game, but any little run, any little momentum that they can gain back helps them going into tomorrow. Getting playoff experience for Cody Clemens right there, that's huge. You know, you have to look at it, little wins whenever you can get them. I know this is, this is a shocking kind of turn of events here, but there's lots of little battles inside the war.
Here's the thing.
And then this is a win here for Philadelphia. That's a victory for the Phillies to get Edwin Diaz up and force him to have to get ready for a potential save situation. And don't forget who's coming up now. You're back to the top of the order.
This is what I'm talking about, man. If you just win as many of those little battles as you can, you never know what that's going to do for the games moving forward.
Just got to get him up. That was your job if you were the Phillies. Get Edwin Diaz up and hot, because yes, it's different even if he doesn't come in the game, but it still counts as him up and getting hot.
Now Schwarber showing bunt and popping it foul.
And I bet they told him, hey, just play some catch. Don't get too far down the line. He's a little bit more than just playing catch, isn't he? He's not exactly tossing it, but they probably told him, just hang back a little bit.
Outside.
Being very careful with Schwarber. A big swing changes the feel of this ninth inning, even with a 2-run lead and 2 out. Time was called by Schwarber. Crushed a ball back in the first, hit a single in the third. Lindor over at the bag at second.
Oh.
Nibbling right now is Stanek, 2-1. Schwarber pops it up. Sky high. Taylor's got it. And the amazing run for the Mets over the last 7 days continues with another clutch victory. Third team to win back-to-back playoff games after trailing in the 8th inning or later. The only teams in the National League that have done that are on the field right now. The Mets in 99, the Phillies in 80, and this New York Mets team stuns the Phillies to take Game 1 at Citizens Bank Park with Game 2 tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. For AJ, Adam, Tom, and our crew, let's get you to Kevin Burkhardt and the guys in LA.
Thanks. Brandon Nimmo, for the 4th time this week, the Mets came from behind to win a baseball game.
Yeah.
Why is this such a great rally team?
You know, I think we believe in ourselves, and we know that if we just keep pressing on the dam, you know, eventually it'll break. You know, and we just try and put really good at-bats together, and sometimes, hey, I mean, it doesn't work, you know, it's baseball. 3 out of 10 times you're really stinking good at this game, you know, and so I think we just have a big belief system in that clubhouse that if enough guys put good at-bats together, and we just keep the gas pedal down and we just keep taking our shots, that, you know, eventually in a game over the course of 9 innings, we're going to break through. We have so many good hitters that we believe in ourselves a lot. So also you have games like Atlanta and you have games like Milwaukee, and it makes you believe in yourself even more. You know, why not us? So, you know, just really proud of these guys and just the fight in them and to never give up.
Well, take me inside those at-bats in the 8th inning. 5 singles. And you had an 0-2 pitch you took the other way, one of those hits.
Yeah, you know, just you're trying to be short and straight to the ball and you know, just try and find the barrel somehow. The infield's in, so you know it's not going to take a lot, you know, in order to get the job done. But you're just trying to not do too much there. And, you know, for us, again, it goes back to that mantra of just go up there with a plan, you know, take your shots. It's not going to work out every single time, but if everybody does that, you know, hopefully it'll work out over the long term. And so just trying to do that, just trying to help my team however I can and just be short and direct to the ball. And, you know, I was able to find the barrel and be able to shoot it through the other way. And then that's just perfect, you know, I think look at our team is, you know, we didn't hit one home run, just playing good baseball, running the bases well, getting in scoring position. Francisco gets us started with a great at-bat in the walk there. And then Mark being able to get a great hit with 2 strikes as well to tie up the game. And then, you know, I have Pete hitting a great long fly ball to be able to score. And I just think it was just good, solid baseball and something that, you know, you would even put on a reel of like, hey, here's how you play the game and here's how you win without hitting the home run.
It's fun to watch. One more game on the road, and then you get to go home.
Yeah, I know. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks on the road, and we've loved every minute of it. We've been having a lot of fun. But, yeah, that'll be really nice to bring some playoff baseball back to the Mets.
Thanks so much, Brendan. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Let's go Mets.
Back to you. Thanks, Mark Vientos. You had not seen Jeff Hoffman before when you took that big at bat in the 8th inning. How did you prepare for that at bat, and then take me through it?
Honestly, I was just trying to simplify that bat. I know he has good stuff. I know he has a good slider, and honestly, my thought process was no outs, man, on first and second. Put the ball in the air, not try to hit it into a double play and try to slow down the inning. I just was trying to put the ball in the air and try to move the runners over to second and third.
And not only do you win a game one, but you win a game one in which Zach Wheeler was dominant. How important is that?
No, it's awesome. Awesome because they had a good pitcher on the mound, and we ended up staying locked in the game because in playoff baseball, you never know what's going to happen. You play to the 9th inning. You play till we get 27 outs. So that's the thing we've been doing really well, and we got to continue on doing that.
Congratulations. We'll see you in game 2.
Thank you so much.
Back to you.